Mountains. 10 down after this one and still 10 to come. A long way to go, but Pecco Bagnaia is building up a lead in this championship as we get...
No one's over aggressive like Jorge Martin was yesterday.
If you are on the sofa, maybe get behind it or...
Wow, I mean, his start yesterday was, well, it was better than the KTM, so let's see if he can match it, because the rider still plays a big part in the start. It's not just down to...
For Pit Fire as he gets ready to watch Brad Binder from the outside side of the front row. Jack Miller from row 2. We're underway in the Austrian Grand Prix and another great launch. Yeah, it looks like Vinales down into 11th position. Here comes Alex Marquez. Almost. Luca Marini was down. How on earth did he save that?
Bagnaia on the first lap, and there was one chance into turn 9. We're coming up to that now. This is turn 7.
That was so close to the rear.
Very close. Turn 8.
And he'll lose a little bit of drive. Stay there. That's been his problem recently. Long lap penalty has come up on the dash of Jorge Martin, so he'll have to do it. Vinales has made up 3 more aero on the front. Alex Marquez in behind Jack Miller. There's Luca Marini and Marco Bezzecchi, both cleared out of the race yesterday by the route race as far as he's concerned. You cannot push like in the sprint, he said. You're going to have to manage your tyres, and it looks already with the pace in the 30.
Turn 2A this weekend from riders just taking a little bit too much curb.
Also,
but he doesn't make many mistakes. When you're behind him, you watch him inch perfect, and that's...
Bastianini's had a better start to the race. Obviously he was involved yesterday. He's up to 10th. He was fastest in the warm-up this morning and will be strong in the latter stages. He's ahead of... We're going to watch.
Yeah, this lap he's doing it.
He's coming in now. He crashed during warm-up this morning when he tried it. There, and he's much less aggressive on the change of direction.
Is it really?
Yeah. And this is where Quartararo's lost 2 or 3 positions in the incident with...
So
he was already a little bit wide. And...
yeah, yes, you can pass him, but to get the bike stopped, but inch perfect there, I think that was inch perfect, I'd say.
Close for the edge though, wasn't it?
Very close, but that's what this man can before that front tyre temperature just starts to increase.
It's probably about now, isn't it? On lap 5, when he's been right in the wake of Bagnaia's bike and he doesn't have...
Move. He's got away with it, and it's meant now he's 3rd in this race.
Brad Binder celebrated a new extension to his KTM contract.
Sorry,
and I'm going to say he's
and I mean, Binder's a seasoned racer. He's very experienced, but it's easy to get drawn in. Just panic a little bit, and
he worked it out at Ducati.
Marquez, look, Alex Marquez, you see him then cut across, dive to the inside.
I think
I was watching the aerial view.
Yeah, it was because Vinales was going Bagnaia from Binder. Now I would start to expect to see Brad Binder in every single little straight trying to get out of the wake.
Yeah.
That must be something to do with the tyres.
You would think so. That'd be a case of you change the map. Basically, the amount of power the bike's going to give you potentially, it could be an engine.
Jorge Martin in behind him. It's been a better weekend for Yamaha. He gets high up onto the curves between turns 9 and 10. Best
things on, you put a bigger area to have to a bigger mass to push through the air, and then it's the same old complaint, Gavin. We need more power.
Here's Mark.
There's more grip, and you end up at the end hopefully with a little bit more tyre life. That's the theory. But that's theory 2. Theory 1 is what you just said, Gavin. Decision. That said, they've been nowhere all weekend anyway, really.
It has looked like a step forward. You see,
dug in, they've worked hard, they've built a bike now that is capable of winning, as we saw at the last race. And there's one thing we know, Honda don't like losing.
No.
Wheelie, the ECU, the brain of the motorcycle, basically reduces the power as soon as that front wheel comes off the ground. So
that later on in the year, that'll be a place that will work well for them.
Yeah, we've got Barcelona coming up. That's a genuinely flowy track. There's a couple of tight sections on it, but that is the $1 million question. It really is.
Here comes Vinales finally past Miller and into 6th. Who is it going to be then?
Yeah, this is the sort of race where Bastianini will use that. That's the Bastianini of old. We're yet to see it this year, but incredible how Enea Bastianini just lack that 1% feeling and understanding. It's really hard to find it.
Bagnaia doing his level best here to make... Both the riders said yesterday, a couple of them was on the front, starting to push a little bit, starting to lock, and actually a little bit of spin.
Yeah.
Here comes Bastianini now.
Thought about it. Oh no, he has got.
He has going to get through. Miller's almost giving him. Came back, tried to come back to a late apex there. And Bastianini.
Man to worse, he's shaking his head. I don't blame him. He's going to get past now by Zarco.
This is going to be interesting. Bastianini versus Martin. Remember, down
Be
towards
abreast.
turn 4. But again, the Ducati just puts the power down. So much better at this racetrack at the moment.
As we've seen it, 14 seconds behind. So he's basically 1.2 seconds a lap off the pace and crashing. He's pushing to his
On his
second
back, yeah.
invitation, and that's what Quartararo has to do on the Yamaha. He hasn't really got the tools to fight, but all he can do is be fast and consistent and just wait. You look at the world champion there out front, wheels in line, using his body a lot, climbing all over that bike.
Neil's on his knees here, just
Bagnaia, but not for a while now, has he? What was the last mistake? Was it America?
Le Mans.
Le Mans, yeah. Apart from that moment on,
Gizmos, the way they'd sit down and they're firing up that hill, you'd easily have your front wheel over the top of your head.
yeah, if you can see the difference with the throttle tray.
As things stand, Pecco Bagnaia will be opening up a 62-point gap over Jorge Martin. I don't think it's going to end like that, though, because Martin is close.
I'll tell you what, that's probably. Do you think he could have locked the front? I mean,
A bit
obviously,
like Silverstone.
a little bit like Silverstone, and then at Silverstone, it's like, why did he stand the bike up and just go? The front locking is when it's that initial grab of the brake, and you have to be aggressive. You're trying to scrub off as much speed as possible in the shortest distance. And
Trying to get some air on his tyres so that he can have a go in the latter stages. Bagnaia's got no such worries. He's out there at front, all clean air.
2 races, and there were a lot of talk saying the Japanese manufacturers will close the gap, but that's not what we're seeing at this. Certainly not at this racetrack.
Hours to come up with that one. It was overnight. Anyway, let's hope it isn't the case.
Let's hope it
It
isn't
sounds
the
like
case.
it's a done deal. Leading the way. All come through his academy system. There's a rumour they might really, if you look in Moto3,
Not many fast young Italians, because they haven't been running their team for how long? Has it been now? 5 years, 6 years? As hard as you can, and you've seen it go up a couple of tenths here, then it levels, then it goes down a tenth, and all of a sudden it goes up a second. It's the best feeling in the world.
fastest.
Look at him stay out of the way. He sort of exaggerates and goes to the right to make sure he doesn't get any sort of draft off the bike, because don't worry,
That's because my tyre pressure will.
tyre pressure's through the roof.
On board with Bezzecchi.
He ain't getting that stopped. But then what happens then? You know they're going to go wide, and they're going to then cut back as you're accelerating out of the corner. And I've got to.
I feel like Bezzecchi does have more pace than Alex Marquez.
Yeah, going to press reset now. Just gather your thoughts, do a couple of laps, get yourself into the right position, and try and.
Been going on all the chat off track. Of course, he was involved in the first corner incident. Also was worried his tyre. Marco Bezzecchi.
You're definitely right, though. He has got more pace. Definitely more pace than Alex Marquez, but it just shows the nature of this track is very difficult.
Bezzecchi this time down towards turn 9.
It ended up being a win-win, though, didn't it? Because Aprilia then took the team back, really, into a.
Oh, I tell you what.
And that's cost him loads of time now, and Luca Marini's not going to need a second invitation.
Was it Quartararo last year that did something similar?
Yeah, he did. Only rider in the 1 minute 30s is pretty much half a second a lap, pretty much then everybody now. Just checking out. 3.8 second lead now.
Yeah, he's not going to get past. He knows if he needs to do it quickly, because Luca Marini's also going to come. Oh, not this time. The business once more.
Yeah, really consistent.
As he was yesterday.
Yeah, sort of sums up his season. He's a solid 5th place man, really. That's where a lot of riders would have been worse.
A lot harsher. Here we go again. Is he going to be able to get through on Alex Marquez? Oh, that's where he saw Bez do it a lap ago. And yet, yesterday, if Fabio Quartararo was given a penalty, why wasn't Martin? Anyway, it's done. Martin's had his penalty, taken his medicine, and he's perfect from Marini. Well done. Will Alex Marquez find a way back on Marini? Don?
That's another solid result this for Alex Marquez if he brings it home in 4th place.
Well, 5th.
The sprint race, obviously he had that bad luck in the main race with his gear selector braking. This place, I remember when we came here and we walked the track the first time, we looked at each other and went, so Ducati for the win then, do you think? And it was, at the time, it was between Andrea Dovizioso
of 2021. He'd been praying for a little bit of rain, wouldn't he, about 10 laps into this race. Yeah, it's
What, Pedro Costa?
no, but it's just it's a little bit of refinement everywhere.
Yeah.
It would be easy to go Öhlins, but we make our own suspension. But what we've learned is we can't keep going back to them and asking for something new every week. So we keep giving them 6 months.
It's a carbon copy of the first race, of the sprint race, where Brad Binder, he didn't actually have a chance to pass him, but that was as close as he got for those first.
Behind someone. Half a lap to go then for Pecco Bagnaia, who's on course now to take his 5th Grand Prix win of the year. Ducati, a match made in heaven around the Red Bull ring. Here he comes across to celebrate with his team. Another one in the bag.